pretty sure that we're going to win and the store is going to lose. One singular focus. Sometimes when you go to the grocery store and you see that price tag, you decide it's time for me to take matters into my own hands. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm doing. In this video, I have just picked up my Azure Standard haul. And it's not my typical haul. It is very specific, and we are going to use this as a test case to see if I can come out cheaper and better by what I'm doing versus what I've been buying at the store. So if you're brand new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee. Welcome to my kitchen. You and I are gonna hang out here throughout the course of this video. What I have done, y'all, is I have bought a ton of frozen fruit from Azure Standard, and you and I together are gonna make up our own frozen fruit blend mix for smoothies or for whatever you want, so that we can see if we can make it cheaper or do it cheaper than buying it at the store. So I'm so glad that you popped in for this video. You are gonna wanna stick around. It is going to be a treat because we're about to do a test case. And I'm pretty sure that we're gonna win and the store is going to lose. So if you've been here before, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm gonna take a few minutes and just talk about Azure Standard and what it is, and then we're gonna jump right into the video. I have bought 6 boxes of frozen fruit of all different fruit kinds, and we're gonna actually mix them together and make our own frozen fruit blend. So we buy a ton of frozen fruit at the grocery store because my husband and I drink a smoothie every day. Both of us, for I would say definitely 5 days a week, one or both of us is having a smoothie. So we go through a lot of frozen fruit. As you guys know, we just built an orchard on our property last fall, and so we are in the very beginning stages. Of course, we don't have fruit yet, but I cannot wait until we do to help defray some of the costs of what we're paying for fruit. But before we jump in, let me tell you about Azure Standard in case you are new here and this is the first time you're hearing about it or the first time you have landed on my page. Also, let me give you a disclaimer. Y'all been in the kitchen working all day long. So my kitchen is a hot mess right now. I have been making pizza dough. I have been preserving tomatoes. And so I found this one little corner of space that I can do. But if you see a whole lot of dishes and stuff behind me, look, I'm working, okay? I'm working. And so I had to go leave and go get my order. So before this fruit completely unthawed, I was like, let me just pop it on the camera and do this now instead of waiting to do it tomorrow. Okay. So Azure Standard is like an online food co-op. And so imagine you ordering all of your stuff from like a co-op, except it's online. And so all you have to do is click the link in my description box and it will take you to the Azure Standard site. You put in your zip code and see if they have a drop near you. A drop is basically where they come in your community, in your neighborhood, in your area, and they come once a month. A big old tractor trailer comes in and brings everybody's order. And so although you do pay for shipping, you are paying a smaller percentage of shipping because everybody is getting their order on that one tractor trailer. But Azure Standard has everything from plants to nuts, grains, frozen items, frozen food, fresh fruit, fresh food, health and beauty aids, vitamins, herbs, you name it, they have it. I have been shopping now with our Azure Standard for I think about 4 years, and I have a whole Azure Standard playlist that you can go back and watch some of my favorite hauls. But today, y'all, all we did was fruit. One singular focus, fruit. Now, let me give you the backstory. We've always been buying frozen fruit, and my husband was really drinking smoothies, and I really wasn't drinking smoothies as much as him. Mine was like every now and then. But for the last, I would say 6 months or so, I have really gotten into either protein shakes or smoothies first thing in the morning to give me a boost of protein or to kind of be something to get my day started before I eat breakfast or a late lunch or something like that. And so fruit has been key. Now, obviously, we do a lot of frozen fruit because that's easy when you're doing smoothies versus fresh fruit. We try to keep the fresh fruit to have on hand when eating. But y'all, now that we're both using the fruit, we go through at least 2 fruit bags a week if we're both doing it 5 days a week or sometimes 7 days a week. The fruit at the store. So we buy a frozen fruit bag. Now we go back and forth between getting it at Walmart because that's easy and it delivers to our house. That bag of fruit is around $13. $13. And I think I have to look up and see, and I'll put it up here. If it's a pound or 2 pounds, I'm not really sure. But it's $13. But the fruit that we love is either from Costco, Sam's, one of those, or Sprouts. I think the brand is Wyman's. They have, first of all, their packaging is just beautiful. Y'all know I'm into aesthetics, right? I love something that looks good. The packaging is beautiful, but the fruit actually tastes 10 times better. And so that is our preferred, but that package is $18. Y'all, $18 for a bag of fruit? Look, I should have been had fruit trees. Do you hear me? Look, if you don't have some fruit trees and you got a plot of land, put you some fruit trees on there. $18 for a bag of frozen fruit? No ma'am. Not today, not anymore, if this works. Okay, so this is what I did. I have mangoes. I have raspberries. I have blackberries. You can see that there. I have blueberries. What else? Pineapple. And strawberry. I think this should be strawberry. Let's see. Yep, strawberries. Okay, perfect. So we have 6 different fruits, and we're about to get to business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, when I say portion it out, I'm going to mix this up like when you buy it at the store. So for us, we usually are buying a berry blend that has all of the berries in it, or we are buying something like a mango, pineapple, strawberry type mix. We do not ever buy just blueberries, just strawberries, just cherries, okay? It's always a blend because in the smoothie, you kind of want some different flavor, textures, and things like that. So I'm going to do it the exact same way that we would do it at the store. So let me get a knife to open these boxes. And I just picked up my order. Of course, it is sweltering hot here. So some of my boxes were already starting to unthaw. So let's start with those first. And normally, I've never, ever, after shopping for 4 years, I've never had my boxes look like this. Like it came off the truck like that. That's not usual, okay? I will call them tomorrow and see what happened. And I guess what happened is it was just hot on the truck. But let's go ahead and get into it. So I have a scale. I think I'm gonna do 2 pounds per bag. And then I have freezer bags. And I have a Sharpie. So let's do a berry mix to get started with. And I'm just gonna write on here, berry mix. July 2026. Okay? So let's open all of our boxes to begin with. So that's easy. I don't know where my scissors are. Y'all, every time I'm doing a kitchen video, I'm forever trying to find my kitchen scissors or a pair of scissors. I know. And I know you're thinking, well, Barbara, why don't you just buy, some dollar scissors and put them in every drawer? I've done that like twice. They just get gone. And all I know is that the culprit ain't me, right? It's those who live in my house. Okay. One more box. And this should be fairly quick and easy. Okay? So, let's start with and all of these boxes are 5 pounds. And they're all organic. That's another thing, y'all. So the fruit at Walmart, I'm pretty sure is not organic. What we get from Sprouts is probably organic. The Wyman's brand, I have to look up and see if it's organic. So that's another thing, that we're going to be getting organic fruit. I know it has to be cheaper, y'all. It has to be. So let's do this. I'm going to start off. I have a 2-cup measure. Now, I don't even like raspberries and blackberries for real. I am growing blackberries my own because I've heard that if you grow it yourself, it tastes a lot better, like anything. But I will eat it in a smoothie berry mix. So 2 cups is like this. We know that's not enough, so let's do maybe 4 cups. Let's start off with 4 cups of each. So we're gonna do strawberries, and then blueberries. I have some blueberries in the freezer that's already open, so I'm gonna start with these. These are from Azure too. So that's our raspberries and blueberries. That's 4 cups of each. And then let's do our blackberries. I have some old, they're not old, but I have towels that I don't care about under this stuff because it's already, like I said, kind of thawed out some, which is not ideal, but it's gonna be okay. But women, what can you do when we have a heat index today of like 110? So we put the blackberries in there. Y'all, this fruit looks so good. Look at that. That looks so good. Okay. So this is our mix so far. Let's weigh this and see how much this weighs. So I got my scale here. Let's put this in pounds. So this is 3 pounds and 2 ounces. And we can still get more. So I think we can probably do maybe a cup more of each, meaning a 2 cup. So let's just go around. I cannot wait to see how many this makes, and I cannot wait to see how long it lasts us to just have in our freezer. The blackberries are not as unthawed and easy to get, but this is pretty full. Let's put this on here. That is really right at 4. It's 3 pounds, 15 ounces, and so we are literally at 4 pounds. Let's put a few more of these blackberries in here. And I think hold on. That's 4 pounds, 2 ounces. Of course, my hands are sticky from dealing with the fruit. But this bag is chock full. I'm kind of like mixing it up. That's our first bag right there. That looks so good. All organic and fresh. Okay, let's just keep going with the berry. Let's make us up another bag. Because I think the other mixture I want to do is the pineapple, mango, and strawberry. I think that'll be a nice blend. So we're going to do 2 different blends, a berry blend and then like a tropical blend with the pineapple, mango, and strawberry. Because we have bought those blends before, just like that, so I know that we like it. I was very curious and excited to try this experiment because the last time I bought fruit at the store, I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And so let me just see. And so when I was doing my Azure order, I was doing my regular order and I thought, you know what, let me see if I can make this work. I had already put some blueberries in my Azure cart because we get those all the time and I love the blueberries. But this is my first time trying any of the other fruit outside of the mango. I have bought the mango before and freeze dried it. And that's also another option, that if you like freeze dried fruit, you can do this as well. Just buy frozen fruit already cut up and stuff for you and peeled, and you can just stick it in your freeze dry, and you can have freeze dried fruit snacks, which when you buy that stuff out of the store, any type of freeze dried product is super, super expensive. So if you have a freeze dry, that's a great option as well. Each of these boxes individually were between anywhere from, like, I would say $15 to $20 a box for 5 pounds, depending on what the fruit was. I ended up spending a total of $95 for all of this fruit. And so when I divide what I'm spending now, $18, all I need to do is make at least 5 bags to break even. So anything over 5-gallon bags of fruit, that means I've saved money. So I cannot wait to see how many bags we get towards the end. Okay, guys, so we got four of these done. 4, and they're 3 pounds each. So I looked up the Walmart brand and the Wyman's frozen fruit blend. The Wyman's is 3 pounds is what you get. That's a traditional. At Walmart, you either get a small size or a big size. And so the Wyman's is what I like. And so that's what I'm comparing it to. And so I got 4 and then like a pound bag here. So a total of 5 bags, but one is just a pound and the other ones are 3 pounds. So that is great. I'm stacking them on my stove because y'all, I'm out of space. I got every counter is covered. So now, next we're going to do the tropical blend, and that's going to be pineapple, strawberry, and mango. So we're going to make up our bags. We'll go ahead and make up 4, because we should have 4. What I forgot to look up is if Wyman's was organic. So I will look that up as well and let you guys know. If you buy frozen fruit a lot, let me know. This may be a good thing that you may want to do, especially if you already shop at Azure Standard. And I'm not normally the type of person that will exchange time for money. Because my philosophy is that you're always going to spend either time or money. It depends on which one you have the most of. And not that I have a lot of money, but with my time, I can always make more money. And my time is very limited. So when it comes to stuff like this, I just got tired of paying $18 and doing 2 bags of grocery order. That's like $36. I mean, you add tax, that's like $40. I just could not see myself. Now, I may be spending the same thing at one time, but it don't feel like it, if that makes sense. These mangoes smell so good. Oh my goodness. Look at the color on those. Smells so good. And so then we're going to add in our pineapple. The pineapple is not nearly as thawed out. And now that I know kind of how many bags, I really don't have to use the measuring cup. I can just eyeball it. Basically, you just want kind of like even amounts. Or you may want more strawberries than mangoes or whatever you have. These strawberries look amazing too. Y'all, look at this. Oh, and it smells so good. And these are whole strawberries. So you certainly don't need as much. I'm kind of like just breaking it up. We'll go one more round. So y'all, I'm gonna just time lapse or go through this part, voice it over or time lapse, and then I'll bring you back and I'll show you the final amount of how many we were able to get. And then we're going to go through the cost savings and see if I actually saved money. So I looked up the Wyman's fruit, which is my preferred one that we buy from the store, and it is not organic, which means this is even more of a plus. And so really, I'm not even going to be comparing apples to apples at the end. Yes, it's all fruit, but organic fruit has a much higher price point than non-organic fruit. And of course, we know that it's going to be better for you. So even that is a plus, is that I'm getting organic fruit versus not organic fruit. So again, I'm doing this tropical blend now that has mangoes, strawberries, and pineapple, which I think is nice. Again, you can make whatever kind of blend you want. These are just typical of what we already buy from the store, so I already know that we like these blends. But if it's going in a smoothie and it's fruit that you like, I don't know how you can mess that up. You could also put some bananas in that tropical blend. You know, if you have guava or dragon fruit, I mean, you can do, the options are limitless. And Azure, these are the fruits that I got from Azure, but they also have other fruits like frozen bananas or whatever. And then let's say maybe you want some frozen avocado you could put in your blends. I could even put in kale and spinach in these blends. So that way when I'm making a smoothie, I have all the stuff like that just right there, because I've bought blends like that before that have like the kale or the greens already in it. And so that's an option that I just thought about as I'm doing this voiceover. So I love this concept. And so I'm doing them in gallon size bags because that's similar to what they come in when we buy from the store. But you could also even do like little individual packs. Let's say you were going on a trip or something and you want to take an individual pack and put it like in your blend jet, or something that's portable. Then you could do it in a smaller portion and even vacuum seal that, and then you just have your fruit and whatever liquid you need ready to go. So again, I love this option. I even love this if I were to freeze dry and I had different freeze dried fruit snacks all mixed together. I think that would be nice too. Okay, y'all, got it done. So I also timed myself. It only took me 30 minutes because I'm always trying to see, because sometimes you can spend 5 hours doing something to save $5. We don't want to do that. At least I don't want to do that. But I got 10 packages. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. So 5 of each one, 5 of the tropical blend and 5 of the berry blend. So a total of 5. And most of them are between 3 and 4 pounds. I stopped being exact. I just made sure there was at least 3 pounds in there, but a lot of them are 4 pounds. So in terms of my cost, all I had to do was to make 5 to break even. I doubled that. So if I'm spending $17, and that is like before tax, because it's Sprouts is like $16.98 if I'm not mistaken, or at Costco's or Costco's or Sam's, it's somewhere between $16 and $18 before tax. Highway robbery. Okay, and what I spent was $95 for 6 5-pound things of fruit. I spent $95 at Azure Standard. Now, I had a credit on my account that I think was $25. So let's just say I spent $110. I am still to the good, because if I would have spent, let's just say $18 on 10 bags, I would have spent $180. So even at $110, I saved $70 in 30 minutes. To me, that is worth it. If I would have saved $10 in 30 minutes, not so much, but I saved $70. And really for me, I saved, $90 because I only paid $95. And I usually always have a credit on my Amazon account just because the link that I am directing you guys to is a referral link. So definitely use my link if you have not tried Azure Standard. But y'all, I'm to the good. I am to the good. I cannot wait to see how long this lasts us. Will I do this again? Absolutely, I will do it again, 100%. I cannot wait to put this with some of our plant-based milk using my Nama. Let me just tell you, I have been on this almond milk, making my own kick since I got that Nama. I was out of town this weekend, and I had some almond milk, and I could taste the difference. Homemade is always better. It's just always better. And doing this myself, now again, I'm not the type of person that would do this for everything. Like, I'm not always trying to trade time and money and do it myself to save time. Sometimes I'm doing it myself to save time, but a lot of times it's the quality. It's, hey, it's a pet project. It's something that I want to do. It's better for me or something like that. This right here, I just got tired of spending the $18 per bag. Not gonna do it. I'm not saying I'll never buy frozen fruit again, because obviously if we run out and I don't have an Azure order coming, then I would have to do that. But it's good to know that I can just make that order, take 30 minutes and do it myself. And we have 10 bags in the freezer versus me buying onesie twosies every single week. So y'all, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some inspiration. Maybe it's not the frozen fruit. Maybe it's grains. Maybe it's something that you buy all the time that you can package up yourself into smaller quantities by buying it in bulk. I would encourage you to think about what are the things that you buy over and over and over again, and they keep raising the price over and over and over again until they just price you out, right? When they got to $18, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. I can't do it. Won't do it. So this was a good project, a good experiment, and I feel like we won and the store lost. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this. It's a different type of Azure haul. It was an Azure haul with a purpose. So let me know if you enjoyed this content. Let me know if it inspired something in you, and definitely go check out the link in my description box. Y'all, thank you so much for joining me. If you have not subscribed to my channel, what you waiting on? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Be a part of this community. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. I may be in the kitchen. I may be in the garden. I may be in the root cellar. You never know. But all of this is a journey. Let's just do it together. I'll see you next time, friend.